Welcome to my winter garden. Today's project, I'm going to be making kind of like a frost cover for my avocados. So I've got one here, it's avocado, and you can see this one's a bit smaller than the other one that I've got, and it's starting to show signs of, I think it's frost damage, but it's not looking too healthy, and I just want to protect it a little bit. So we'll come over here, I'll show you my other one. This one is the bacon avo, and it's kind of got similar, it's just starting to get some damage. We haven't had a serious frost yet, but it's getting pretty cold, and the winter solstice has just passed, so it's going to get even colder. So let's make a quick and easy kind of frost cover for them to keep the heat in a little bit and see if they survive until spring. So the materials that I'm going to use is just like tomato trellises or bamboo stakes or any type of stick that you could use. These ones I just had lying in the garage, so I'm going to use those. I use 6, so 3 for each pot. And then also these kind of bags, plastic bags. They were used for kindling from the shops. I think my grandparents bought them, and then they were filled with horse manure, and I brought them back home for the garden, and now they're being repurposed again for the third time into these little frost covers. So I got the scissors because I tried using my secateurs and it didn't cut. I'm just going to cut the tops off this end seam. I'm going to place 3 of the poles in a triangle shape around the plants and then stick the cover on top. So let's see how it goes. Just gonna go. I have to do it one-handed, I haven't got a phone stand. 1, 2, 3. So just like that. We'll do the same for the other. So for the bacon avo, it was a bit bigger plant, as you can probably tell, and I've put the sticks kind of offset a little bit so that it gets the foliage. So the plant is in line here with these two and comes off this way. So we'll try and just kind of contain it in the triangle of the poles. So I've just cut the end off. It should open up into So there you have it. 2 DIY frost bags for my avocado trees. I'll see how they go, whether they let enough sunlight in and whether the trees look better or worse. I'll give you a bird's eye view of it. There's one. So it's white, it's light enough, and I suppose it will let enough light in, but just have to check it and wait and see. Show you a bird's eye view of this one. So it's also light. Hopefully this lets enough light in during winter, just over the colder period, and then I'll take them off when it starts to warm up in spring. It's been a gorgeous day here in Melbourne. I've spent the day doing some gardening and pulling out some plants and feeding the soil. I've planted another round of carrots in here. This was my best looking soil, very light and fluffy, so I'm like planting some carrots. And my chickens have been out all day with me, enjoying free ranging and getting into everything. My harvest today, I've just been pulling out whatever I find. I've got some radishes, some carrots, look, good. They could be a bit bigger, but I just wanted to clear out that bed. We've got potatoes and capsicum. And I pulled out my capsicum plants. I think I'm going to overwinter them, so I'll pot them up, cut them, trim them a bit, and then put them in my greenhouse and see how they go. I've never overwintered capsicum before. I've got my white sage, some chilies. I'm going to do the same. I'll give them a little bit longer and then I'll pop them up. Mandarin fruit is very small, but there's heaps on there. My snow peas. These are the Yakumo Giant. And they're huge. They've only just started flowering and they're this tall. Normally other smaller varieties of snow peas start flowering when they're about that high. But no, they're that high. What else have I done today? Broccoli and garlic. I've given them some seaweed solution, given them to fertilise. Some weeding around the garlics. I've got another mandarin tree that's got some ripe fruit still on it. I haven't picked it yet. I've transplanted some peonies. I did have them, actually they were over here in this pot here, and so when they start to flower or when they start to bulb up is when these peach nectarine trees start to bud and get their flowers as well, so they kind of shade them out a bit. So I'll put something else in there, a flowering variety of some sort that likes a shade in summer. And then I've put the peonies, I'm not sure how to say it, I just say peonies, I'm not sure. I've put them in here. So this is their second year in the ground. I know you're not meant to move them, but I put them in there. They get more sun, so they're unrestricted when they bloom. They were starting to shoot when I dug them up. They had some shoots on them, so they should be coming up soon, maybe in a couple of weeks or so. And yeah, it's just a gorgeous day. I spent like 5 hours gardening and it needed it. I needed it. The garden needed it. Everything is good. Life's good. This weekend we're going to hopefully tidy up the back here. Not this back, I'll show you the chickens. So we cut the lemon tree a little bit and the pear tree. That's just in that corner because we're putting on a clear lid on the chicken coop because we keep their food and water in there all the time, so when it rains their food gets mushy. So at least this way it protects their food and their coop, their nesting area a little bit better. Hello. Oops. Who have we got? I've had to tag them because they all look the same. This one is Perkirk. Perkirk is boss. She's in charge. Wait. Excuse you. Yellow is Pomo. So we've got Perkirk and Pomo. And I just used one of those random name generators on this farming game that I have. I thought it was pretty funny. So we've got Perkirk, we've got Pomo here. And then having the time of their life, or her life, is we've got Meep. So green tag is Meep. She's been happily digging. I'll put this cover on them just to try and keep all the dirt in because I just dig and kick it all up and I'm constantly sweeping it up. So there, she's happy in there. Yellows are happy there. I'll show you what the plan for the weekend is to cut back some of these. So we've got a bay leaf tree which is just growing huge. Just give everything a bit of a trim. I'm not sure what these are. I think that's like a lily pilly. Maybe that one is too. Cut back some hydrangeas. It's a bit sunny back here, so hydrangeas need a trim back. Passion fruit's doing great. We set up this trellis. That was one of the first things we did, as well as the water tank. So So the water pump. So we put a pump on the tank and put some trellis on just to maximise some space because I really wanted to grow passion fruit. And so now that's reached the top, it's getting sun all winter. So that'll be ready to go in spring when the weather warms up a little bit. We've got all these leaves here. So the weekend job is attack this massive fig tree. They just don't stop growing. I need to get back here and fertilise that lemon tree. It's got really big lemons on it, but it's not looking too good. So I need to give it a trim, give it a fertilise, and hopefully see how that goes. Also this apple tree, give it a big cut back. I think it's just like a cooking apple because it didn't have much fruit on it. Fig tree just grows. We've also got a grapevine back here too, so it's big work. So we're going to do some heavy duty garden work on the weekend. And so that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you're enjoying the gardens in the cooler weather, and I'll try and do some more filming. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.